Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another show. It's Geekonomics here with you, Mark and Bryon, and of course, producer Josh in the control room.
Producer.
Pressing all the buttons. I will ignore you. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. It was a big week here at the show. We had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things happening.
Yes.
Bryon had a movie premiere redo.
Yes.
We'll be talking about that.
Yes.
We went to a live wrestling show. We'll talk about that. We saw Joker.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also talk about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have a wrestling challenge results.
Ooh.
And a whole lot more.
I'm excited to see where we land.
We're in talks of possibly making a T-shirt to promote Bryon because he says the same thing continually.
It's going to be a great match.
So we'll see what happens. But all that and more. So here we are. Welcome. Thank you all for watching. I know it says at the beginning of the show, but please subscribe. The goal is to get to 250 by the end of the year. We're at about 125 right now.
Yeah.
So I think we could do it. We're trying to get there. The main goal is to get as many subscribers as Bryon's pet show that he has, his pet channel, Backyard Buddies. We're trying to beat Backyard Buddies. That's our goal. Surpass Backyard Buddies. That's my goal for this show.
I see what
now.
This is. You're out for my...
I'm out for the pets. I'm out for the animals.
Actually, it's all channels are like we should support all channels. And
I've been hearing people talk about that game, that
Squirrel with
with a Gun.
Comes out October 16th.
I guess streamers have been playing it. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, Backyard Buddies is doing well.
Yeah.
It's something Alice and me and my wife can do together.
Yeah, Cat TV.
Yeah, it is Cat TV.
Cat and Pet TV.
Yes, this bitch.
That's what it says in all their videos.
Yes.
You can see them.
You can put it on and leave it on for your cats.
Yeah. Just a little heads up on the review for Joker. The movie, we went Thursday. The popcorn I got a large popcorn, only ate half of it. So that could explain how great I thought the movie was. So stay tuned for the rest of that review coming up. The rest of it went towards Backyard Buddies. So
Yes.
How you doing, Bryon? How's things?
Oh my God, it's Monday and I'm ready for the weekend.
Yes. I had that week last week.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's been a long week. Weekend.
It was a long week. It was a long week. Yes, it was.
It's one of those weeks.
It was one of those weeks last week, let me tell you.
Yeah, you had a crazy week, but I'm sure, your wife's better, right?
Claire got not a completely clean bill of health, but she got the okay to stop positioning, which means she doesn't have to keep her head down anymore.
Yes.
Now she can sit up straight, and she still has blurred vision in her eye.
She has a patch, right?
Well, she can wear a patch, yeah.
Hmm.
So it helps because if, as you would know, if you wear glasses as well as I do, if one of your eyes is kind of blurry and stuff, it kind of throws off your perception and kind of makes you a little wobbly.
Throws off your equilibrium.
Equilibrium, yes. It's a very well-named music
new
show.
Episode next week.
It's out now. It just needs to be redone.
But we're recording a new episode next week.
Oh, we are recording an episode next week, yes. The 413s will be in.
Nice.
But yeah, so, yeah, she's somewhat up and running. So hopefully another week or so, her eye will start clearing up, and she'll be back to normal. Well, as back to normal as she can be, but yes.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a little bump in the road, but we're getting there.
Nice. I'm excited. Man, oh my God. Yeah, I saw the photo Claire posted with the little eye patch thing.
Yes, she ended up posting
better.
that yesterday because she had a plethora of people reaching out to her, and she's not very fond of the social medias, and she's not very fond of communicating through text message and such. So she was like, I'm just going to put something out, and that way everyone gets the same, because people are still responding to her last post that she put out. Yeah. Where she didn't really explain what was going on.
Yes, it was a mystery post.
Yes, she does those. And so, so I helped her with it, and we got it up, and
Looks
so now
good. Looks good.
People know what's going on, and
right.
able to communicate with her. And her cousin put on there hey, I'll PM you, and she's like, what does PM mean?
Yeah, what does PM?
I was like, private message.
Yeah, but it's usually DM. I've never heard somebody say PM.
Facebook, it's private messaging.
There's two different types.
And Instagram, it's direct messaging.
Yeah.
That's what a DM is.
I've always heard DM, but I've never
that's a direct
heard PM.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Instagram.
I guess private. I'm not on Instagram, so I don't know what any
I'm
of that
telling
means.
you. I'm informing you.
Okay.
I think it's also a TikTok thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They got to change up the lingo. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like DMs for the Zoomers.
Yeah.
We got to be
the
boomers.
The big thing that happened with Android users since you don't have this, you're an Apple guy, you haven't experienced this. On Android, you have like your messaging thing.
Yeah,
which is a
messaging
message app.
Yeah.
For text messages. Well, they decided to sunset it and convert everybody to Google messaging.
Okay. Well, Android
basically without
is
any
Google.
choices.
Yeah.
You just had to do this.
Yeah.
Google messaging, in my honest opinion, just one man's opinion, stinks and is terrible. And I hate it with a passion of 1,000 suns.
On my
not
end,
as user-friendly as the regular messaging app was.
Interesting. So I want to bring this up because I've noticed when I text you now, you're green.
Yeah.
But it does say when you've read it, and I think you get like I give you a thumbs up or whatever. You get that.
They
now.
made them more.
Yeah.
They made them on the same platform.
It's more
as
like universal.
iPhone.
Yeah, it's more
So
universal. Yeah. So
there is no more blue-green messaging.
Yeah,
everything's
one universal.
Well, no, he is green because I know
Yeah.
he's not an Apple. If it's an Apple, it's blue.
Yes.
But the biggest thing they've done, thank God, if you are now in a group message and say an Android user created a group message and say 100 people, 50 of them are on Apple, 50 are on Android.
Yeah.
Well, if you were on Apple, you could not leave the group message. You were stuck. That group message would live on forever.
So you were stuck in a bunch of random group messages from the knuckleheads?
Yes. Now, they updated it.
So you spent all day
And now you can
leaving
leave.
group messages?
Now you can leave them.
So you've been just leaving group messages all day?
Well, now
Spent all day
I have
Saturday.
the eject button.
But that's what I mean by blue-green.
Thank God.
Ejector seat button.
It's all the same like operating system now.
Yeah, it's more
So
uniform.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can do the interactions. And
Yes. Yeah, like I can do like the stickers and things now and all
Nice.
that stuff, which
That's cool.
who cares? But
Well,
I'm 45, not using stickers.
I mean,
and
I like the
gifts and
easy
things.
thumbs up and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's fun,
yeah.
You know.
But so that's like. So I said that told Claire about it, and she's like, "Well, I haven't had to do that yet." And she's like, "I love my messaging app." So then she got it yesterday, and she's like, "Oh man," she's like, "I might just change the only people she texts really is her sister, me, and her best friend." So I'm like, she's like, "Well, I might just put everyone on WhatsApp, and just use that because I like the WhatsApp." I'm like, "You do whatever you need to do. It's fine."
Too many apps. I don't even. Yeah.
It's bad enough that like some like streaming services make you use WhatsApp.
Who?
I don't know, but one of them made me like you had to download WhatsApp to be able to get like a verification thing to get into whatever it was.
I would not use that app.
But I know like it's now a Meta app. Meta bought it, so now it's like
I was about to say, was it European or something? Because they use WhatsApp.
It used to
a
be
lot.
the thing that you would use. Like Sandy used to have me use it all the time when she would go on vacation out of the country because you couldn't text. So that was like the way to.
Right.
So a lot of
That makes sense.
folks that have family members, like I know Mike Smith used to talk about it all the time, that or folks who like in Brazil,
Because you're not
going
gonna
to pay,
pay-
charge the roaming fees.
Yeah,
or
you're not
whatever.
gonna pay the roaming fee. I get
Yeah,
it.
so that was the thing. So no, that was an app for that, but now I think it's just another Meta
Just
product.
Another stupid
Zuckerberg
thing
bought it, so now it's another thing.
I don't want to use.
Yeah,
Hey,
so it's another thing.
We do have some house cleaning before we get into the show.
Oh, great, because I know how much our listeners love listening to you produce the show in the middle of it. So go ahead.
Well, we have a big show coming at the end of the month, East of the River Comic Book Toy Show, October 27th,
This isn't really
10 a.m.
housekeeping.
to 3 p.m., American Legion
This
Hall.
is just you shilling for people. Go ahead. Continue.
Oh, my God. We always promote
Yeah,
this.
but that's not housekeeping. That's
That's not
just regular-
housekeeping. This is you promoting. It's
Yeah.
different.
Whatever.
Housekeeping's like, you know what we're going to do in next week's show
Oh
and the
my
next
God.
3 weeks
Oh, my
of
God.
shows.
Okay. Listen, we could BS
Brian,
about
stop
it.
looking into the void.
Stop
I'm
looking
looking
into the void, Brian.
I can't hear you if you look into the void.
East of the River Comic and Toy Show, October
scream into
27th,
the
10
microphone.
a.m. to 3 p.m., American Legion Hall. We hope to see you there. 2 floors. Mark, are you going to be there?
I will be, and I'll be a guest vendor.
Are you working the door?
No, I'm a guest vendor.
Okay.
I'll be sharing a table with the owner of the show.
So don't you want to promote this show so you can sell your stuff?
I do. I was just picking on you because it's fun.
Oh, my God. And then
This is our relationship. Where have you been for the past 20 years?
I know you.
Come on, Brian. What are you talking about, Brian?
Sunday, November 17th, Manchester Comic and Toy Convention, 10
Yes.
a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's going to be a busy weekend for you.
Army Navy Club, Manchester, Connecticut. Oh, why? Because we have D&D on Saturday?
No, we have wrestling that night before.
Oh, yeah, wrestling is Saturday. It's going to be
Brian's
a busy
hands
day.
are going to hurt.
Of course. Why? Always on the same weekend. Something. My life.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you know what? Those shows are over at a decent hour, and we're in.
We're usually out there by
Enfield.
11.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's fine. Army Navy Club, Manchester, Connecticut. A lot of people from Mortal Kombat are going to be there.
Yes.
It's going to be a
Two
big
people.
one. 2 or 3 people. No, they announced a third person.
Oh, did they announce third person?
Yes.
And Matt Ryan.
Well,
I mean,
He is-
he's the ultimate guest. You get him, you've got a show.
you get Matt Ryan.
Isn't it Matt Ryan squared, too?
I don't know. Is the other Matt Ryan going to be there? That's news to me.
I don't know.
But Matt Ryan will be at the East River Comics and Collectible show.
Yes.
So you really have 2 chances to see Matt Ryan.
Right. It's going to be.
So you can buy a Brenda book at each show and have him sign them.
He's got a couple out now.
He's got like 4 of them now.
Yeah, so you can buy 2.
Might even have a new
week,
one
2
coming.
new.
I don't remember. Every time I talk to him, he's talking to me about 7 books down the road, so I can't keep track of what books are actually out right now.
He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man.
Yeah.
All
He's
right.
quite the little entrepreneur. as
That
the kids
was
would
the
say.
only thing I had to say, Mark.
All right, well, yeah.
I call it housekeeping.
Excited
but
to hang
that's
out. I'll be hanging out
something
with
we gotta
Scott all
talk about.
day. That's going to be a blast.
Oh, man.
We'll be screaming at you from across the room. I can't wait.
No.
That will be the only downside of me being over at Scott's table. You'll be across the room from me, and I can't like really pick on you all day.
You don't normally pick on me.
We'll hang out at your table and stuff.
Yeah. Usually it's you, Matt Ryan, next to me.
Yeah.
But the
And the
last
Safari
one, you were
Brothers.
doing the door.
Yeah.
Who's doing the door?
The people that usually do it.
All right.
We'll be back, I'm assuming.
All right, Marcus.
Yeah.
The 3 of us, we went to the Blitzkrieg Pro.
We did.
Cool to be you on Friday night.
Friday night at the house
The
that Pierogi's built.
The Polish deli, right upstairs.
Yeah. Well, it used to be the Polish deli. Now I think it's just the old
Old
Banquet
Country
hall.
Buffet.
Old country buffet and banquet hall.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's what it's called. I'll have to
Yeah.
check, though.
Yeah.
You see, it's funny on here, just for Alden Ave, but it's
Yeah, they
above
don't,
the
I
old
don't think
Polish
it has
deli.
a name anymore
No.
right now. It's kind of like in the middle of a transition of ownership.
Right. Now, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time.
I think the banquet hall's still owned by the same people, but the deli downstairs is a different.
Yeah. But they served, the pierogies were fantastic. I got the barbecue sausage. It was so
Yeah, yeah.
good. Oh, my God.
I bet Allison paid for that all night.
Oh, jeez. She was not liking me, especially in the morning with the coffee. Woo-wee. And I had beans and weenies for dinner.
Oh,
It
man.
was
What is
like-
she doing to herself?
Where's
Why
the
did
goal?
she set you up for failure?
Oh, jeez. Anyway, I want to say a couple good matches. Ryan Mooney, who
Rabies.
is the rabies guy, which
we
I
got
think
rabies.
it would be fun to get one of these guys on the pod.
I'm sure we could.
It would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we can have one of them call in.
Or even in studio.
Or show up, yeah. We can do that. We can talk about that.
So last time he wrestled, he had this jar to prevent rabies. We all chanted rabies.
Yes.
He comes out and we all chanted rabies. Maybe
Well,
it wasn't
before even all that, he comes out and he does this thing where he jumps up on the turnbuckle and he throws his mask off.
Yes.
He somehow, which I don't even know if they've ever got this down yet.
It's probably still there.
Probably still up there. He threw his mask off. It got caught in the fan. The fan spun around and then threw it on top of a light. And Lily sat there the whole rest of the night.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking before they tore the ring down, they threw a ladder in the ring and got it down.
It would be really cool if it
Because
was
that's
still
kind of like
there.
his gimmick. So it's kind of like you don't have to go buy a new mask.
I think it would be cool if it was still there the next one and they made that into the store. They got a ladder to go
They
up
could
there.
put it up there somehow or something. Yeah.
Well, that was a 1 in a million shot.
That's a 1 in a million shot. Yeah.
So
but
anyway,
it was quite the highlight of the night.
Yeah,
One of the highlights of the night.
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Ryan Mooney is amazing. He was up against Aaron Rourke, and that was a great match.
Yeah.
Those two. Ryan Mooney is, I think he's got a great gimmick.
He's like the Sami Zayn of Blitzkrieg.
Yeah,
I kind of equate him to
it's
that
funny.
level.
He's very talented.
Yes,
but I
he's
think
charismatic.
also, yeah, and I think the fact that we all remembered rabies is a good thing, and everybody was chanting.
Well, I think that's his gimmick, so to speak.
I don't know if he expected that.
Yeah, I think that's his thing. That he's like, you call him the honey badger. So.
Well, I know. Yeah, that's true.
I think that's kind of like his.
He also has him on his wrestling trunks.
Yeah, rabies. Yeah.
Then another interesting match. This was more of a, I'm not going to say joke match, but it was a comic relief match in my opinion, which was Kirby Wackman and Delightful Dan.
The Candyman.
The Goodman Candyman.
Yes.
That was bonkers.
Yes.
So the Candyman walks out with a big pixie stick and he starts pouring
he
sugar down people's throats.
He kind of like is attributing the
It was an
gimmick
homage to Sandman.
of Sandman from ECW back in the day. So he was kind of like that character. He had like a candy cigarette in his mouth and the whole thing.
And he had a big sucker lollipop.
Yeah.
That was a really funny match.
Yes.
It's like one of those matches you watch and you're like, I can't believe this is happening. I could never describe
Well,
this
that's the
to anybody.
thing. There's a little thing about it is that and this is the interesting thing with the independent scene, is there's storylines that go on that if you hop in, like we've kind of hopped in back into it again after a while, and you have to like catch yourself up on what the storylines are.
I feel like we've
and there's a
up.
bigger storyline with those guys that had been going on that I still don't really know why they don't like each other so much.
But it was fun.
So there's stuff like that you had, like I'm sure there's a storyline behind it, just we're not up to date on it. So
yeah.
But
there was like a couple tag team matches.
You forgot the first match, Brian.
Well, hold on. I
know.
know.
I want to make sure you weren't skipping over the first match.
I'm not skipping.
Okay.
I'm just kind of going in the order of.
He's kind of bopping around the flyer.
We had the East Coast Bastard Crew, Delta
Yes.
House, Ancestral City Shooters, and Los Toxicos. Did I say it right?
Sure.
Toxicus?
I'm pretty sure it's
Toxicos?
Toxicos.
Toxicos. Those
Toxic,
guys,
yeah.
I don't think I've seen any of these guys wrestle before, but that was actually
You
really...
saw
the,
Toxicos with Mop.
They were paired with the girl in the last show.
Gotcha.
They might have been there. Might have been before you got there.
Might have been before I showed up.
Yeah, you should have played. So they were in a match last time.
But this was a really fun match.
Yes.
The East Coast Bastards crew was really awesome.
They're that's a tag team from way back when they first started Blitzkrieg Pro.
Yeah.
Jeremy and Logan Black were tagged together way back then. And then they kind of went their separate ways. And I've kind of like reformed recently at another promotion.
Yeah.
This is their first time back together at Blitzkrieg, I believe.
Yeah, these guys put it on a really great show.
Yes.
I think that was a fun
And it had
show.
the best bump of the whole night when the referee jumped off the top rope.
Yes, and there's an amazing photo online.
There's a great photo online, which
Yes.
I'm sure Brian will make it to his cover photo by the end of the day.
It was a good one. I almost thought about it.
Yeah, I know.
it's a
I
good
also
one.
know that
There's
Claire
so
mentions
many
all the time.
people. There's so many people saying they want that printed out and they want him to sign it.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great thing to have. Yeah, that'd be a great photo.
Yeah, that was a great photo.
A great promo photo.
Yeah. Also, another. This was a great five-way. It was PVV, Notorious Mimi, 50 Cal, Nate Cassetto, and Jeremiah
Marbury.
Jermaine.
Jermaine.
No, it's Jermaine.
Jermaine Marbury.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Anyway.
Jermaine.
Like Jermaine from the Jackson 5.
This was cool
Who
because...
just passed away, unfortunately.
R.I.P. This was a cool match because you had men and women.
Yes.
And also they played on the fact that Nat, she's super short.
Yes.
And Never's super tall.
Yes.
And then you had the basketball guy.
Yes.
You had the rocker guy. Like everybody had their own parts.
Yeah.
And it was like the Harlem
This is now
Globetrotters of wrestling.
this is a qualifying match for the new belt that was announced.
Yeah.
Oh.
In honor of Tim Jensen,
Okay.
friend of the show, who was the commissioner who retired on Friday night
Yes.
from being commissioner. So with that, they're going to do these scramble matches for the next couple shows.
Oh, okay.
And then they're going to do a scramble. I'm assuming the next 5 shows they'll do this.
Mm-hmm.
Have a scramble match to qualify for the new Tim Jensen Scramble Championship.
Gotcha.
Which will always be defended in a scramble match.
Nice.
I'm assuming.
That was a lot of fun.
The scrambles are some of my favorite matches.
Yeah.
Was the original scramble for the Bedlam Championship?
The Bedlam Championship used to be, when it first started, was always, the thing of it was, every championship match had to have a stipulation. That's why it was called the Bedlam Championship, because there was a Bedlam, like it was always some thing going on where you had to be, some kind of stipulation had to be involved in it to defend it, which they've since kind of walked away from a little bit. But now they're going to do that with the scramble match. And if I remember correctly, when they used to do the scrambles, this was the first time I remember them doing it this way, but they used to do it where they'd do like, which I think they did last show we were at, where each person would come in at like a Royal Rumble time, like a minute or a half or so. Like every 90 seconds, a new wrestler would come in. Then after those 90 seconds were up, after everyone came in, that's when the match officially began. And you could pin and, like they'd be eliminated. Like people could be eliminated, but you couldn't win the match until everyone had come in, kind of thing. If I remember correctly. But I could be speaking out of turn, but...
Well, that would be cool to see anyway.
Yeah.
It was still a fun match.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was cool to see men and women wrestling, everybody going at it.
Yeah, that's more of an independent thing.
You don't see that happening in WWE.
Big shows, no, usually.
Angelo Carter and the Shook crew up against Silver Screen Collective.
Yes.
Which Silver Screen Collective brings me back. I don't know why I was thinking the really horrible name from WWE Tag Team.
Maximum Models.
The Pure Collective.
Oh, Pure Fusion Collective.
Pure Fusion Collective.
Yes.
This match was interesting because there's a storyline going on. There's a beef happening. A lot of these characters reminded me of WWE characters a little bit.
Yeah.
I had a very reminiscent of some of their moves and the way
Jay
they
George
look.
is very into big story type telling.
Yeah.
He's always been. He was one of the originals, like Blitzkrieg originals. He's been there since they started, and he's always been very like everything's a big production.
It was
and
good.
He's very good at it.
Yes.
He's very good at it.
No, it was a good one of the headliners. It was really good.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of funny to be back into it again for being gone from it for so long. Because I got married and stuff happens and life happens. And
then I suck you back in. I'm like,
well, now
we gotta go.
Well, I've been married now for 5 years now, so the wife's like, "You can leave the house now. Go away. I don't want you around." So I can do stuff again. They get sick of you after a while, They want their own
Well,
time.
like we used to randomly go to matches and shows.
Yeah.
Depending on like.
Well, they used to have
go
when
to
they had them at
Bullet
the
Zone
Eastfield
one.
Mall all the time. I'd go because it's
Yeah.
right by my house, so I'd go to those shows for PvP and
And
stuff
then
like
was
that.
it the Crack? And then
Yeah,
they
Crack
used to do it in the
do
Fermi
stuff,
gym.
and they used to have Fermi. They had big shows there and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, like I was when they first started Blitzkrieg, I was very involved in it. Like I got John and him involved in it. John James, like I got him involved in it and all that. And then I moved to Springfield and things happened, and I just didn't have the time.
But here we are.
But now I'm back.
Kevin Blackwood up against Sammy Diaz. That was a grudge match.
That was the very first match of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of set the tone. That was a good match.
That's right in your wheelhouse.
Right in my wheelhouse.
A lot of flippy flips. You love the flippy flips.
Yeah, there was a lot of flippy flips.
You love the flippy flips.
We also had, this was a great tag team. It was, this is for the titles. It was Miracle Generation up against Legion of Rot.
Yes.
And I've seen Legion of Rot last time. They have the championship. They actually won the championship last time.
Yes.
And I believe they lost the championship up against Miracle Generation.
They did. You were paying attention.
I was. It was a good match. I was paying attention. Then the two headliners was Dijak and T.J. Crawford. Now, T.J. Crawford lost the belt. Tell me if I'm wrong. He lost it to CPA last time. CPA was celebrating. Dijak comes in, destroys everybody.
This is right after he was let go by WWE.
Yep. Destroys everything.
This is his first time that he could go out and do stuff. So it was his first independent show after leaving WWE was Blitzkrieg.
Right. And everybody went crazy.
Everyone went nuts.
So
even
now,
myself.
I have to say, never seen Dijak wrestle up against T.J. Crawford. That was a really fun match because Crawford played it up like he was scared. Someone yelled, Utopia chicken beep.
Yes.
And everybody started laughing.
Yes.
It was like, who said that?
Yeah.
But
well, there's one kid there that's very into it.
oh yeah.
He's very into it.
But man,
Kid, he's probably like in his 30s, but
Dijak is so big.
Yes.
Compared to everybody else. He's a monster.
Yes.
So this was a really good match just on the athletic side of things.
Yeah.
They put a good show on, but just seeing them two go at it, I think was a great show. But it led into CPA defending his belt up against Marcus Mathers. Who,
yes.
Brian, before you start that, Dijak going off the top rope was insane.
Oh,
looking.
yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of things happen.
But like,
you know.
He's bigger than me.
He's 6'7".
Yeah, he's
and
huge.
he went full bore off the top rope.
Oh yeah, and you could hear that bang when
Yes.
you're in there, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that led into Dijak really egging on CPA.
He hung out and
Stop looking into the void, Brian.
Instagram Live.
Sorry, I was looking at you, Josh. He was like,
he was on Instagram Live.
Yeah, and he was
for
like
the CPA match.
He was like taunting and doing his shtick. He's sitting out there.
Yeah.
CPA did.
He's CPA's biggest fan.
He is.
Well, because at the end, CPA kept his belt.
Yes.
And Dijak called him out and said, I want to go up against you next
Well, he
time.
told me he was his favorite wrestler. And then CPA challenged Dijak.
I thought it was I thought
No.
Dijak.
No,
challenged.
Dijak just said, you're my favorite wrestler. And then CPA's like, you know what? I've had it with your shenanigans.
Oh, yes.
I'll show you how tough I am.
Oh,
You want to see how tough I am? Which is
tangle.
what he wanted, what Dijak wanted,
yes,
really.
Yeah, he was
So
egging him on.
Dijak kind of goaded him into
Yes.
defending his championship.
Yeah. That's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
So whatever they bring to us, the next one,
That match will be
November
16th.
16th,
November 16th.
Yes.
7:30
Tickets go on sale next week.
next
There
week.
you go.
We are going. It's called Blitzkrieg Pro presents Black #1.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
a takeoff off of
Typo
a
negative.
Typo negative.
Which is very funny when the PA in-ring announcer messed up the name and Jeremy was screaming at him from across the room. Like, I can tell you're not a Typo negative fan.
I'm not a Typo negative.
I don't know. I don't
But
even
I
know what Typo
recognize
negative is.
the. I recognize the.
I thought it was like a
thing.
Matrix reference because I didn't even like when
It's
I
a-
saw the logo because I'm like, oh, that's cool. I
It's
don't
some
know.
like band from the 80s.
It's some hard rock band.
So
no.
it on their release for the ticket sales,
Yes.
it has the match, the Bedlam Championship match,
Josh, turn
Dijak
your
versus
volume down.
CPA.
You're like screaming.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at
Yeah.
I'm looking at my phone.
Don't scream into the microphone. Jeez Louise.
It also there will be a Sammy Diaz match
Yes.
and the return of Masha Slamovich.
Masha Slamovich. Yes.
Yeah.
Masha Slamovich is very awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's on TNA right now.
Okay.
She is from the area, I believe. And I want to say, is like not a Blitzkrieg original, but like she started out through Blitzkrieg in the local scene.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Nice. So we're definitely going to go to that.
Yeah. So I'm assuming she'll
super
be
excited.
in a scramble match.
Yeah, they haven't announced other than what Josh said.
They'll be doing another scramble match.
She's
So-
Russian, but she wrestled in the area.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great time. So we'll be going to the next one. We hope everybody else checks it out because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun
good
for the whole
time.
family. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I have a lot of fun going with you guys. Like it's fun. We get to clap and yell things and
Yeah.
have a good time. And
Yeah. You could bring your own cooler full of beverages if you'd like,
Yeah, I had no idea.
non-alcoholic or alcoholic.
Yeah, you
There's a
just pay
$10
fee.
corking fee,
Yeah,
which I found out. I asked after the show, trying to get some information because I said we'd talk about it
I
on the
saw
show.
people with coolers and I'm
So
like,
yeah. So
some bublés, some
some
water.
bublés,
And
some
there's
Michael
food.
Bublés.
There's
Michael
food.
Bublé.
Brian
There's
had some food.
delicious food.
Delicious
yeah, pierogies and other
And
barbecue,
there's barbecue.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good time.
Yeah, it was
it's a
a lot of
nice little show. It's downtown Enfield, so it's a good area. It's a nice little fun area to hang out in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you just have fun.
Yeah. Good
Turn
time.
your brain off for a couple hours and
I know.
watch some wrestling.
And man, it was like Bad Blood was so fun to watch because I have had to watch highlights of Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
So refreshing to watch a show.
Yeah.
I missed it so much.
Yeah.
Highlights just don't do it.
Yeah.
They do it, but they don't do it.
Yeah. Speaking of Bad Blood,
Yeah.
we had the wrestling challenge.
Before you get into that, I guess NXT.
Yes.
You can only watch live on the East Coast, and people are complaining. So you can't because the way
CW, the way they do it, you have to because they do it. It's like staggered air times because of the West Coast and everything.
Well,
it doesn't start. Like if you can't even watch it live, you have to watch it.
No, because it's like because it's a
they
syndicated channel. It's not a like an actual channel.
Yeah.
Oh wait, before we get into the Bad Blood stuff.
Yes.
I just want to say, we did the tragic second movie premiere on Sunday. It went very well.
I was gonna say that right before we did Joker. We can do it now.
No, I'll just get it out of the way. Just real quick. Chris did a great job. Everything Agawam Cinemas was amazing. It looked good. Everybody came out, had a great time. It was a lot of fun.
Looked like Rocky had a good time.
And Rocky is the
Rocky and the Rockers.
Yes, that's what we call the fans the Rockers. I mean, everybody went crazy for Rocky and his 10 seconds of fame.
Yeah, well, that's about all he needs.
But yeah, it was a great time, and it was so nice that it
had to get too big.
It went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
And people, we thank everybody who came out on a Sunday night because a Sunday night is a tough night for people.
It's a tough night to get out. Yes. Especially when you already had 2 nights of other stuff going on.
I know.
Yes. It's a hard night to get out.
It's a busy weekend. Why are every weekend so busy?
It is. It feels like it's nonstop.
It is.
I feel like this weekend's already booked. But anyways.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. It's a 3-day weekend, right?
And then hockey starts.
No. Why is it 3-day weekend?
Columbus Day.
I don't get Columbus Day off.
Oh, I do.
It's Indigenous Peoples Day. I don't get that off.
I do. Well, yeah, you're right. It's Columbus and Indigenous Peoples Day.
Indigenous Peoples Day. I do not celebrate the guy who accidentally landed in America.
I don't really care. It's a day off.
It's like the day to celebrate.
He didn't discover anything.
Men driving.
I know.
Didn't want to follow directions and just drove into the land. It was like, I discovered this. And people were like, we were already here.
I know.
Yeah.
It's now time for the Geekonomics Wrestling Challenge.
It's funny.
Yes. All right. Bad Blood. Wrestling Challenge results coming at you. We will go through them the way we had them on the sheet, not in the way they happened, because they did things a little differently than I expected they would.
Yeah.
For reasons, which we'll discuss.
Yes.
First match out we had on our list, Damian Priest and Finn Balor.
Yes.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
Should we start with the SmackDown bonus since that
we
happened
can do that.
first?
Yeah, we can start with the SmackDown bonus. None of us got it.
No.
So there you go.
Yeah.
I'll say we all should have realized that the Bloodline was going to keep it, but
well, I thought they were going to do something, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I thought at least get that out of the way.
Yeah, but then again, they're not doing anything with the Raw Championship either, so tag team champions. So it is what it is. Damian Priest, Finn Balor. Damian Priest won for reasons. I guess that's the end of that feud.
No.
Because Damian said after in the press conference that like him and Rhea are gonna like spread away from each other a little bit, and he's done with the Bloodline, or he's done with Judgment Day. He's now setting his sights on other things.
Well, I heard him talk.
So that's him saying that. So who knows if the Judgment Day is going to feel the same way?
I didn't get that impression. I got the impression that like he is definitely has goals.
Yes.
And that him and Rhea are still best friends.
Yes.
But they have their own paths.
Yes.
Because they're in different divisions. They
exactly.
can't. So I agree. I understand what you're saying. I'm
hoping it's true because I don't want to. This has been drawn out way too long, and Judgment Day could be doing something else.
Yeah.
And Damian Priest should be doing something else.
I really, I think this was an entertaining match. Both of them are very good. Damian Priest is, I think his stardom is getting bigger and bigger. So I feel like it's time for him to go up the ladder a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I agree. And did we all pick Damian Priest for that?
No,
one?
I picked Finn.
Oh, Josh, what'd you pick?
Josh got Damian.
Okay. So
I said Damian.
So you guys
Josh,
both got a point.
We both got a point. On
yes.
Okay.
Next match we had on our sheet, which ended up being the main event match. So we'll talk about that after we get done with everything else, because a lot of stuff happened during that.
Yeah.
Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. I think most of us picked Rhea to win.
Did we all pick Rhea?
I think we all picked Rhea to win.
So
we all thought it would just be the way to get this over with and done. But they're dragging it out longer because why wouldn't you?
I'm fine with that.
I think
fine with that.
This is going to be the women's, either the women's War Games match or something. Which I'm hoping it's not the War Games match.
Let's
I think
talk about who showed up.
Raquel came back.
And now that was Liv Morgan's old
tag team partner from back in the day.
Now,
who's also Rhea's real life best friend.
Okay, but in
storyline,
yes. They're not.
Yes.
So in storyline, this happened. I'm not familiar with her because when I started wrestling, Liv Morgan was on the Revenge Tour.
When you started watching, not when you started wrestling.
When I started watching. What did I say? Did I say that?
Yes.
Rewind the tape.
When I started wrestling.
When I started watching, she was not a tag team partner. I knew about it from watching clips online.
They were tag team partners way back.
Right.
Yes.
So she shows up. And Rhea got distracted by using Dominic as a human pinata, which was really funny.
Yes.
But we've seen this before with other people, other wrestlers, other storylines. Yeah. She got distracted. The referee's like, go do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And she shows up, takes out Rhea.
Yes.
And then they called it because the refs saw it.
Well, Raquel came out too early.
Yeah.
It's been everywhere saying that she came out too early to do her spot for that match.
Right.
So the referee saw it, and he couldn't not ring the bell.
Oh, yeah.
Or just look like an idiot. And
Yeah.
be like, oh, okay, go ahead. Beat her up and then throw her in the ring.
Yeah.
So it kind of got messed up, which kind of ruined the rest of the night because there's a lot of DQ finishes, a couple other ones already.
Yeah.
And this is like a third one, so it kind of like came kind of like a thing.
Well,
but anyway, so
it is what it is.
happened.
It's live entertainment.
Yes,
what are you going to do?
Things happen. But anyways, Liv won. None of us got points.
Yeah.
Moving on to the WWE Women's Championship, Bayley versus Nia Jax.
This was yet again. They're playing with us with Tiffy time.
Well, they're saving it. Hopefully for SmackDown.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be the SmackDown.
Nia Jax.
If it's a SmackDown, you guys are done.
Nia Jax wins, right?
Yes.
So Tiffany Stratton comes out yet again with the briefcase.
Yes. The referee is taken out because Nia fell on the referee.
Yeah. The briefcase hits the ground, scrimmages. The referee grabs it.
Or skirmishes.
Yeah, scrimmages.
Skirmishes.
All right. Grabs the briefcase.
It moved around.
And looks at
you and your fight with English language. It's always a good time.
Tiffany, like, are you cashing in? And then, of course, Nia Jax looks, and so, like...
She wakes up randomly.
Yes, to say, are you cashing in?
What are you doing?
Me?
And she's like, no, the referee was pulling it out of my hand.
Well, she picked it up off the ground, actually.
Well, I know, but Nia didn't see that.
No. So, yet again, we have this play with Nia...
They're setting it up.
They're setting up that Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton are going to have a beef.
Yes.
Because...
I'm waiting for someone to return. I'm feeling this is leading to Charlotte or somebody returning and taking out Nia, and then Tiffany cashes in.
What I think is... when Tiffany does take out Nia and get the belt, it's going to be a big pop.
Yes.
Because people want this. But I think they're building it up more.
Yeah.
I think they want to build it up
they're making
even
Tiffany
more.
to a good guy, is what this is leading to.
Well, that's what I'm thinking is what's going to happen is she's finally going to get sick of
Nia's going to beat.
She's going to cash
what's going to happen is Nia's going to beat down Tiffany.
Yes.
Either this SmackDown or then whatever.
Well, it's already been happening.
Well, I mean, like, she's actually going to do it. Like, she's going to turn on her and beat her up and leave her laying. And then the next SmackDown, something's going to happen. Tiffany's going to take her out, or someone's going to come out and take out Nia. And then that's when Tiffany will cash in.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking it's going to be is Nia finally snaps.
Yeah.
And beats the crap out of her.
Yeah.
Someone comes to save.
That's what I'm saying. Either or. Yeah. So.
And then.
As long as it's on a SmackDown, I'm fine with it.
And you get the points.
And I get 20 points.
I know.
And then you guys are
I get
done.
5 points.
Yeah, but you're not catching up to me after that.
You don't know. Anything's possible, Mark.
It's not going to happen.
All right. Anyway, so we all said Nia, right?
Yes.
Josh
said Nia.
Yes.
We all said Nia.
Okay.
So we all get 2
get 2
points for that
one.
Okay. Hell in the Cell match. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
Oh, this was my favorite match of the night.
Yes, it was quite the gore fest.
Lots of blood.
Yes,
everywhere.
It's a good thing it did at first. I was thinking about it. It didn't have to be either or, either the first match or the last match. So having it first got the crowd going.
Set the tone
Set
for
the
the rest of the
tone
night.
for Bad Blood, because it's the name of the show.
Yeah, it was good.
And then, so CM Punk took down that victory.
Yep.
I think we all had CM Punk winning.
Yeah. Josh?
Yes, Brian.
Yes.
Okay.
So +1 for all of us.
Yes.
And then we had the
Yes, Brian.
the big match: Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns up against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu. Wow. What a match.
What a match.
I watched
a lot
it
of
this
stuff
morning.
happening.
A
lot of stuff happened. And things happened after the show that
Which
we'll
I
talk about as
didn't
well,
know until
which
this
I just
morning.
informed you about.
Yes.
So the match happens. Guys go through tables. People are thrown all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The Tongans come out towards the end of the match.
Yeah.
Take out Cody. Take out Roman. And then the return of Jimmy Uso.
Yeah,
happens.
Jimmy Uso came back.
Yeah. And he helps Roman win the match.
Yep.
Roman and Jimmy are celebrating in the ring. They leave. Cody by himself in the ring.
He gets...
The Bloodline jumps Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Roman and Jimmy go back. Save Cody.
Yep.
You think the show's over with, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Rock's music hits.
Oh, final boss time.
Final boss comes out.
Yes.
Doesn't say a word.
Nope.
Just looks at them. Counts 1, 2, 3, 4. Crosses his neck. I'm thinking
Yeah, what is this about?
he's teaming with Solo. He's their fourth.
Interesting.
Because he hates Cody.
Mm-hmm.
And he's mad at Roman for teaming with Cody.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to side with Solo.
So then who would be... if it's a 4-on-4, it would be Cody...
No.
What do you...
Roman, Jimmy. And then they have to recruit 2 more from their family. I'm assuming.
You don't think Cody would be part of that?
No, because Cody's going to be off doing the thing that happened after the show happened.
Yes. Explain to everybody what happened after the show.
So 2 things happened. I don't think I told you. I don't remember. I don't think I told you this part.
You told me the one thing.
One thing. In online, The Rock records a promo of him leaving the arena,
mm-hmm.
running down Cody Rhodes, kind of sort of running down Roman, and then leaves after basically saying not really anything.
He's The Rock.
And then takes off.
Yeah.
Also, in the back behind, it was kind of hinted at by Triple H that Cody couldn't make it to the press conference. Everyone was kind of wondering, like, why wouldn't he be able to make it to the press conference?
Yes. Okay, doll. I watched that this morning.
Yeah. And so, come to find out, fan footage was released online and on YouTube, all over YouTube.
It all makes sense now.
Kevin Owens pulls up in his Lamborghini,
Mm-hmm.
gets out, confronts Cody outside his bus.
Mm-hmm.
They get into a little heated exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing ensues.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember who exactly pushed who first.
Mm-hmm.
And then KO just KOs Cody, basically. Takes him out, beats him up, leaves him laying,
They're gunning.
throws a garbage can at him.
Jeez.
Gets broken up by the agents and security.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens is screaming at Cody.
Mm-hmm.
This didn't have to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You brought this on yourself.
Mm.
You're not who I thought you were. All the usual KO snap things that he does when he snaps on people.
Mm-hmm.
Gets in his Lamborghini and speeds away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Kevin has done what Kevin does.
Wow. That is good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see because they've been building this rivalry thing between these two, and then KO is constantly like, "I'm going to be good. I'm not going to be good. I'm going to be good."
Yeah. So he's either
going heel.
We don't know if he's going heel or if he's just snapping.
Well, after that, I feel like he's
Randy
heel.
will be somewhat involved in this as well.
Oh man.
Because they'll be.
Well, they have
more
to
on SmackDown
give
about
more
this.
Cody outside the bloodline.
Yes, they got to pull Cody away from the bloodline.
They got it. They got it.
This was their way of getting Cody out of the bloodline.
Yeah.
Stuff. Because the bloodline's going to be its own thing.
Right.
Bloodline Civil War is going to happen.
Yes.
It's going to be 2 bloodline factions against each other.
That would be
to
fun.
see who's the real bloodline.
Right.
So anyways, you and Josh both picked Cody and Roman to win.
Yes.
I picked Solo and Jacob to win.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys get the 2 points. I do not.
Wait. That wasn't for a belt.
But you guys
though.
get a point.
1 point. One
Yeah,
point.
one
And I do not.
Yeah.
So with all that, Josh finished the night with 57 points.
Okay.
Total through this so far this year.
Okay.
You have 70 points.
Woo!
I have 71 points.
I have 70. You have 71.
Yes.
Wow, we are neck and neck,
Yes.
baby. Now
So
tonight,
I went to me being a knucklehead and overthinking the show.
you do always.
So I need to stop doing that and just pick with my gut and not pick with my brain. But tonight we do have the bonus of the men's world championship. Sammy versus Gunther. We all have Gunther winning.
Yeah.
So either way, we're all going to get 2 points or we're not. So it's not really going to make any difference.
I think Gunther will win tonight, and I don't know. They posted a poster for Crown Jewel, and Gunther's on it.
Yeah. But that's subject to change. They always have that little
You're right.
asterisk thing there. Because he's a champion right now, so you're going to promote the show promote the champion you have.
I just think it's weird that we're setting up storylines before that happens.
Well, they always do that. They always do. They always have stuff going on because it could always change. You could always change a poster.
Yes.
I
Also,
know.
They have plenty of money. They could get someone to hop on Adobe Express and just move one
it
guy's
takes 2 seconds.
thing out and put another guy in. It's
And
not going to be a
also,
big deal.
it could be a bait and switch sort of thing.
Yes.
But I do think.
I mean, if they had Sami Zayn on the poster, then that'd be.
Yes, that would throw.
That would really get people going. Be like, oh, wait a minute. Why is Sammy on that and not Gunther?
I do feel Gunther and Cody Rhodes for Crown Jewel would actually be a good match because it's not something.
Shocker,
we
but
see.
shocker. You think it's going to be a good match?
I know. But
who would ever thought?
It's because we don't see that we haven't seen that before. And I feel like right now we're kind of running into the same scenario. Yes, and
repetitiveness.
to see Gunther and Cody wrestle, in my opinion, would be a fun match because it's not something that's storyline driven right now.
Yeah, and I know Josh doesn't particularly care for this idea that they're doing. I think it's a great way of just, you don't have to have your championships defended at this.
Right.
But it's a good way to still defend something.
And it mixes it up.
Yeah.
And it gives us people who are not normally going to wrestle.
Yes.
Their storylines are not intertwined.
Because this used to be what Survivor Series was. Survivor Series, they tried it 1 year. Or no, they did, not Survivor Series, it was Bragging Rights.
Okay.
It was an old pay-per-view that they used to do where they would have the brands compete against each other.
Yeah.
The champions for each brand, and then whoever won got like the Bragging Rights trophy for their brand.
Yeah, I mean,
so like NXT was involved, and they did that 1 year. It was a 3-way for each thing, and whoever champion or won got a point.
Oh, speaking of Gunther showed up to talk about Sammy, and we got to see Goldberg.
Yeah.
And he told Goldberg, "I said you were my favorite wrestler. I lied." And then Goldberg gets up. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he got amped up. Yeah,
it was fun. People were like, "Are we going to see a Gunther and Goldberg?" I'm like,
I sure hope not.
Yeah,
No
Goldberg's
one wants to see that. No one needs to see that.
We got a lot of old wrestlers there.
I think it's their new thing. They're going to start. That's a UFC thing.
Mark.
UFC has a lot of celebrities in the set, and then crowd stuff. So they're going to be doing that a lot more.
Yeah, it was fun to see.
The pay-per-view was Night of Champions. Was a special.
No, Night of Champions is a different thing.
No, what I'm saying though is the Night of Champions was all the champions wrestling and.
Yeah, but they were wrestling their belts. They weren't wrestling each other. Their belts.
No,
are
I know,
up.
but that's.
Bragging Rights was the other one.
That's what I was thinking of beforehand. You know.
Yeah, but Bragging Rights is the other one.
Yeah, Bragging Rights is the full-on
battle for brand supremacy.
Yeah.
Yes. But.
Okay.
So yes, that's the wrestling challenge stuff. But we have Joker 2, which I'm calling it because Folie à Deux is a dumb name.
No, Folie à Deux is French for the madness. I believe the madness of 2.
Yes.
Which makes sense.
Yes.
My wife and myself, we all went on Thursday night.
We did.
And all three of us walked out with kind of different opinions.
Yeah.
Which I think is good, especially for discussion. Because we've been pretty much on the same page for a lot of things. So to me, this is kind of breaks it up a little bit. I think we're gonna differ on this one, which that's great. Right after the movie, I turned to my wife and I said, "What did you think?" And her first reaction was,
"Where's my cookie?" Oh.
No, she goes, "I think the first one was better."
Oh,
She's
for sure.
She does not like musicals at all.
Yes.
Full stop. If I tell her something's a musical, She has no interest.
Yeah. So you're not seeing Wicked with her then, is what you're saying.
No. But she did say, she said...
It really wasn't a musical.
It was. There was a lot of musical numbers. She felt it was a little too many musical numbers.
Yeah.
But she felt the first one was better.
Yes, for sure.
I turned to you. You said you were bored. You didn't really care.
I was bored.
On the other hand, I was like... I just kept thinking about different aspects of the movie all weekend, and it's been rattling in my brain. I've
forgotten the movie already.
Yeah, I have not. For me, I felt like it was a little too long on the music. I think some of the scenes could have been better without a musical number, but overall, I did like it. Was it as good as the first? No. Was it needed? No. But let's get into it.
Everyone in this movie looked bored to be there, to me. Everyone looked like they just didn't, like they were just there for the paycheck. That's all everyone looked like. Like even the directing seemed like they were bored. Like halfway through. They were like,
I didn't get that.
I guess we'll do this. It's like they were forced into doing it by DC and Warner Brothers. They're like, hey, the last one made $1 billion. We want another one. And it's like, well, that was kind of a one-off kind of thing. It really wasn't.
Well, I agree.
It wasn't really needing a second movie.
No, I don't.
It kind of ended. Like we kind of ended the story.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you have to make another one. We paid you money. Here's a bucket of money. Go make another one.
Well, I don't think that's exactly.
And they were
what
like,
happened,
okay, I guess we'll make another one.
Todd Phillips did choose to make another one. He clearly didn't have to.
Yes.
For me, I saw opposite. For me, it was nice because it was... Okay, I went in very nervous because Todd Phillips, the last time he has made a sequel to a very big and popular movie was The Hangover.
Yes.
Hangover 2...
sucked.
It was a repeat of Hangover 1.
Yes.
Was it funny? Yes.
Yeah.
But it was literally beat by beat the same movie.
Even 3 wasn't good.
Yeah. I was worried that we would walk in and I felt like, oh God, please don't just do the Joker over again, but with Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I enjoyed the big swing. I enjoyed that it was totally
I didn't dislike the swing of it. I just didn't. The first movie you felt for Joker's character. Like, in a way that you kind of felt weird about feeling for the character.
Well, yeah, he's sympathetic.
Yes.
He had mental illness.
Yes.
Bad things were happening to him. People treated him poorly.
Yes.
Yes.
This time, it was a different feeling.
Because he wasn't...
You felt disgusted watching it.
Well...
And the two
Lee
people...
was the bad guy. Harley was the bad guy.
But the two of them didn't really have chemistry on screen together. It's like when they were on screen together, it didn't feel like they really their characters were supposed to be like in love with each other or infatuated with each other somehow, but it didn't come across. It didn't. It seemed just awkward on screen when they were on screen together.
So,
not like last movie. Well, Arthur's character, Arthur, fell for Jazzy Beats' character, but it was all in his head.
Yes.
This time it was for real.
Right.
But he still, fantasized it in a way that wasn't true.
A lot of the musical numbers where he's in Joker costume...
And he's fantasizing.
This is spoilers, by the way.
Yes.
Was him in love. And he had music in him. In prison, they just watch a lot of musicals.
Yeah.
And
that's the only things that you could watch without anything.
So he was kind of taking these old-timey musicals.
Yes.
And his mind was presenting him and Harley in love.
Yes.
And him falling in love.
Yes.
But also, so counterpoint to what you're saying...
I think it's also the thing with me is I think too, I dislike, and I still disliked it from the first movie, this version of the Joker. It's not Joker. It's someone wanting to be Joker.
Well, hold on. Let's go back to what you're saying, because I have things to say. Okay, so to go back to the first, you were talking about chemistry and whatnot.
Yeah.
So the way I see it is, there was chemistry, but Lee's character she was in love with the Joker.
Yes.
She was not in love with Arthur.
No.
She was pushing Arthur to become the Joker.
To come back into being the Joker again.
And that's not him.
Yes.
He is honestly just a weak, pathetic human being.
Yes.
And, like, in my mind, I'm going, okay, are they going to come up and wreck house? But watching this movie, he is powerless because this is a grounded movie.
Yeah.
He cannot do anything other than defend himself.
Yeah.
And then come to terms with the fact that everybody was trying to use this split personality. And he's just like, no. She was really like, you need to be the Joker.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to be. That's what I'm in love with. That's the
Yeah.
character I'm in love with. He was not that.
Yeah. It didn't resonate.
But this spawned his movement in the first movie carries over to the second movie because there's a movie made about his life.
Yes.
Also,
TV movie.
There's a lot of Joker people out there wanting to do crazy stuff. And there's someone in the prison cell that looks up to him. A lot of people look up to the Joker, but don't know who Arthur is.
Yeah.
So I think that's where this movie comes along.
Yeah.
Spoilers, but the ending...
Well, like the thing with the guards didn't really resonate. Like it didn't really make...
Well, the guards had all the power, and I
yeah,
think that
but it was
showing
just
the
a very
dynamic.
weird, like, I don't know. Just the relationships didn't resonate to me. Like, didn't... Like, the only reason why the guard wanted him to do the singing thing is because he wanted to sing.
Yeah, he was using him.
So, but
they
it was
were
just
all
very,
using him.
I know, but it's just,
Everybody
I know they
was
were, like,
using
trying to, like, they're trying to get that across. But it just seemed like it was very, I don't know. And then they did the whole thing where, like, he had the full Joker makeup from the first movie.
Yeah.
But then, like, it would cut, and it was him, like, wearing, like, very rudimentary Joker makeup.
Yes. Yes.
Like they did in the first movie.
Right.
But the way they did it this time around didn't really translate as well as it did in the first movie to me.
Well, he put the makeup on when he was defending himself in court.
Yeah, but it didn't, like... But he's not, like, wearing, like, full-on Joker makeup.
No, because he couldn't do that.
Because he couldn't do that.
Because he's in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
he
like,
couldn't
didn't-
dye his hair or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like they did scenes like that, but it wasn't really that.
That's when the musical numbers in his head.
And the trend, but then even in, like, the couple of the courtroom scenes, he was in the full makeup, but he wasn't really in the full makeup.
That one scene.
Yeah.
He
So it was
put
just
makeup
very...
on his face, and that's all he could do.
But they had the explosion happens, and then he's in, like, the rudimentary makeup. So it was just very...
Well, when the explosion happens, he doesn't have any makeup on. That's when he... Or if he did, it was all washed off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because that's what they're saying, is that he's really wearing that makeup.
Yes.
But in his brain, he's seeing him in the full Joker getup.
Yeah. Because he is not the Joker. He is a character
I understand that, but I'm saying it's
starts...
just...
I think that the theme is he starts this movement, and a Joker comes out of the flames from this.
Yes.
Which could be, the theory is, the guy at the end who shanks him and
Is
kills
really
him
the Joker.
could be, in this world, the real Joker.
Yeah.
I didn't notice this, but he starts cutting his mouth.
Yes.
With,
at the
with
end,
the shiv.
when he's licking it.
Yeah.
He's licking the blood off it, and as he's doing it, he's cutting
his mouth. So they're saying is, like, people wanted what he started, and that could be the origin story to a Joker character. Granted, this is an Elseworld story. This is self-contained. We have a Harvey Dent. We also have a Harvey Dent who gets blown up and half his
the face gets burnt.
It's just small little nods to the comics.
It was just a lot of, I don't know. There was a lot of hodgepodgey storytelling, in my opinion. It really wasn't as good as the first. By far not as good as the first one.
I agree and don't agree, because I like it. It wasn't as good, but at the same time...
It was long. It was too long as well.
It wasn't... Well...
It was like 2 hours. If not more than that.
Well, it wasn't... It was 2 hours, 18 minutes. To me, it flew by.
For me, it dragged.
I will say... Hold on.
About halfway through, I was like, can we go now?
I will say there was one scene in particular that in the very beginning, the first time Arthur speaks, they sit him down with the
psychologist,
with the TV guy, Cougar.
Oh yes, Coogan. Steve Coogan,
which
is
fantastic.
He's always that character in every movie now. Like he played Robert Frost once, or whatever his name is. Yeah,
Nixon Frost.
Yeah, in that movie, and now everyone like puts him in that role where he's like the reporter guy.
He's been other things,
but he's like that's like his thing. Like he's the weird reporter guy that like interviews people.
So this is a con for me, a pro and a con. Scene was great.
Yeah.
The dialogue, the tension between them two was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think when I'm watching it, going, man, I was really into that scene.
Yeah.
They undercut it with Arthur going into a song.
Yes.
That
really didn't make any sense.
To me, that could have...
Yeah.
They could have... That back and forth between these two...
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That was the thing. I think the musical part went too much. Like, they leaned too much on it.
They didn't need it for everything.
They didn't need it for everything. They went too hard on the musical side.
My favorite musical scene was the courtroom scene when he... In his mind, he's thinking is going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's just...
And he wins and they leave and everything.
He beats the crap out of
Yes,
the judge.
yeah.
He shoots himself because that's... the theme of the first movie was he was going to commit suicide on the talk show. That
was the whole shtick, that was his thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean...
But like the whole like Puddles scene was just...
That was a good scene with
I know,
Puddles.
but it was just kind of like... And him doing the weird...
He was making
Southern
fun
accent.
of... He was making fun of Harvey Dent.
Yes.
And he was making fun of the judge. He was like mocking them.
Yeah.
But the Puddles scene was a really interesting scene because he's someone who survived.
Yeah.
He actually...
Well, he let him go.
He let him go, but he was saying how scared he was, and I think it maybe got to Arthur a little bit because he was just like telling him, like, "Why are you doing this? You were always nice to me. Like you're the one person who stood up for me.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?"
Yeah.
And I kind of almost felt like that's when Arthur was just... a part of him was being chipped away.
I don't know. It seemed very forced. A lot of stuff seemed forced in it, to me.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way. But I will say sometimes some things worked. Like my example, some things a lot of work. Is it a movie? I kind of want to see it again. Not the theater. I probably will watch it at home.
If I don't see it again, I'm not going to be like disappointed about it. Yeah. It's not even a movie like if it was randomly on, I'd be like, oh, let me watch it. I'd be like, I don't really want to see it again.
I do want to see it again.
I don't need to see it again.
But
I also, I'll throw it out there. I also don't think Lady Gaga is a great actress, as some people might think she is. I think she's just kind of like, she can sing.
I actually thought she wasn't
that bad.
bad.
I don't know. Just in this, especially, it just didn't.
Well,
like her as Harley Quinn just didn't do it.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about Lee. So, yeah, I feel like she could have been in it a bit more.
Well, her backstory of her character also did not work.
Well, it did work. It worked for the character because she is.
But if they had her, instead of her being an inmate as well.
Well, how else would she meet him?
She could have been the psychologist at the beginning.
But we saw how, in the very beginning?
Yes, if she had been the psychologist that interviewed him, and then he was like meeting with her, and like they went kind of with the usual story of Joker.
I know, they went different. They went different.
But if they did that and like she was working with him as a psychologist, and they were working towards his trial.
That's a different movie.
That's a whole different movie.
It's a whole different movie.
But that'd be a better story than this was.
Maybe.
I think it would be. I think it would be. I'd be more interested in that story than I would have her being a random person who just decided that she wanted to be a psycho. Checked herself into the place
because she's rich, and this leans into the Manson stuff, and this leads into serial killers in general because a lot of these murderers.
Like she moved into his apartment building.
A lot of these murderers have female fans.
Yeah.
Who are obsessed with them.
I know. They kind of went with that story.
They went with that.
It just didn't...
And that's more grounded because that happens in reality.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't a big stretch. It was not.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying, but that story has been told before, so I kind of feel like giving us something different. This is why I say I appreciate the big swing because it was very different.
It's a swing and a miss because it didn't do well everywhere.
Is it a divisive?
It's very divisive.
Yes.
It's very divisive.
Am I probably in the minority
You're
of liking
in the big minority.
Ryan, 33% rotten and 31 fan.
Audience score.
That's fine.
It is one of the worst opening weekends for DC.
Yes.
Oh, I know it didn't do well. I know it didn't do well.
But also,
It's also one of the worst scored movies in
the
DC.
past 10 years, DC and the DCEU, whatever you want to call it, has released 10 movies.
Yes.
Of those 10 movies,
I think 2 of them have higher than 30%.
But of those 10 movies, only one is considered profitable.
Yeah.
The Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the rest are considered bombs or
losses.
I understand.
Losses.
We can go down that road.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But it's all going to be better with James Gunn, so don't worry, guys.
It seems like
it could be.
It could
they
be.
don't know what they're doing, or they're trying to retell the stories and it's not working.
Well, let's go back to let's finish. This is a different conversation. This is the whole different
doing a different story.
You're saying it's a different. You're literally just saying that it's a different story.
You're saying going a different way.
Giving a different way, doing a big swing
for this movie.
But that's every DC movie. They try to do big swings and they miss continually.
But that's a whole different conversation. If we want to talk about DC as a whole, let's just finish this review.
Yeah.
We're just talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
We'll be here for another hour.
No.
If we go down that road.
No, yeah.
It seems like going away from the norm
is not working.
Isn't working for what DC is trying to do.
I understand.
The first Joker was great in what it was doing.
Yes.
I don't think having another
yet, so.
psychopath or stalking person made sense for this storyline. Doing the Harley Quinn storyline from the comics of, she's trying to help him, and
that was the part about it that I think didn't work.
Right. It seems like that part
of her pushing him as opposed to him being him pushing her.
It feels like, why are you trying to make him worse? Because you're in love with the Joker.
Well, that was the
point of the movie.
It really.
But when you see it, you can make that comment. Until
all right.
Let us finish this up.
I know. Let's finish this review. Listen, we're reviewing this movie.
Yes.
I understand everything you're saying, Josh. I appreciate it. But that's a bigger,
Brian
wider
didn't see it
conversation.
that way, and Brian's going to give a really bad score. So go ahead, Brian. Tell us what you thought of it.
We can have different opinions, Mark. It's
yours
fine.
might be wrong, but go ahead and give it anyway.
Oh my God! Will you stop? Listen, I think it's good to have different opinions. I mean, if I look at our movies, we've pretty much been on par with a lot of things.
Not for nothing, the movies that we've seen recently have all been pretty good movies. This one, not so much.
What was my least? I think the lowest was Godzilla and Kong. I gave it a 7.5.
Yeah, which really wasn't bad. That's not a bad score.
No.
But it really wasn't like...
All right.
Great cinema either. It was just kind of like just monsters.
It could have been a
fighting.
TBS movie.
Well, it will be a TBS movie. Give it time.
All right. Anyway, I like it when we have differences.
So out of 10,
opinion.
what do you got?
Do you want to give your final?
No, because mine's going to be yours is more controversial than mine is. You want me to go first then?
Final thought and your score.
Please I would have not been disappointed if I hadn't seen it.
Okay.
It really didn't do anything. It was kind of just there.
Okay.
It felt forced. The acting and chemistry of the characters felt forced. Even the lawyer at the beginning didn't really like her character was kind of like this there. It kind of didn't, I don't know. The whole movie just seemed like it was forced upon them. Not that they wanted to do it.
I was thinking that's how it works.
Well, I'm just saying, but that's what it felt like to me.
I got you.
Like they were just told, like, hey, make this movie. And they're like, all right, fine. But anyways, so I will give it out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it, because like you said, there was that one scene that was good that I enjoyed. The courtroom scene where he like has the dream sequence. And a couple of little things were pretty decent. I'll give it a 3.
Okay. Mark gives it a 3.
Yeah.
That's fine. Listen, I welcome having different opinions about things.
Yeah.
We don't always have to see eye to eye.
I understand that. So give me your bad score.
Such a jerk. For me, my final thought is this.
Well, here's the other question before you give yours, really quickly. No, this goes about it. What did Allison like completely say? Like, what was her final thoughts on the movie? Did she think it was bad, or she, like, what did she?
She didn't
just
care
meh?
for it. Yeah, she was just like, the first one was so much better.
Yeah,
and she basically said I could have done without them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I see what they were going for. It just didn't work.
All right, you ready for me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. For me, I didn't know what to expect. I went in very low expectations. I appreciate the big swing. I actually liked some of the musical numbers. I liked a lot of what they tried to convey. I liked what they gave us. Do I think this movie was needed? Because the first one I felt was a perfect movie without anything else. Yeah, I don't. I was.
It was a great one-shot comic book.
I was very against the sequel when there was talks about it. I was like, they don't need a sequel. Don't do this.
Yeah.
When they said they're going to put Lady Gaga in there, I'm like, they're going to make it a musical. I was like,
Yeah.
I actually walked out wanting to see it again. I actually liked some of the stuff. I liked the big swing because it was different enough that I felt like I was seeing a continuation.
Yeah.
With all that being said, I know it's divisive. I know it's not a perfect movie. I know it's not as good as the first movie.
Yes.
Usually sequels, when it comes to something like this, they're generally not.
Yeah.
But for me, I've been thinking about it all weekend. I've actually been talking to Allison about it, my wife, who didn't really like it, but
we all know who she is. You don't have to keep saying your wife.
But we talked about, like, I was just like, oh, this scene and that, and, what they're trying to convey, and, like, so we had discussions all weekend about it.
Yeah.
So, for me, this could change, but it is a movie I do want to see again, and I want to, I don't know. I still, it's thought-provoking for me. I give it an 8.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising.
It's not a 9. It's not a 10.
Well, no, for sure it's not.
The
fact that you think it's even an 8.5 baffles my brain.
I think the Joker is a 9 or a 10.
Well, here's the thing. You're a big Batman guy.
Yeah, I love Batman.
So is that, like, swaying your score a tiny bit, that you're a big Batman guy?
Well,
that this is, like, in that universe?
No.
Because this is also the first time I think they've actually said that this takes place in Gotham and actually say that it's New York. I don't know if that's exactly true, but I think it's the first time they actually say it in the movie.
That took place in Gotham in the first one.
No, but I'm saying, like, they actually say the state of New York versus Arthur Fleck.
No,
that's what they say in the movie.
Well, it's Gotham.
Yeah, but they don't really call it Gotham. They say it's Gotham, but they actually, like, say that Gotham is in New York.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Which I'm not sure if that's the first time that's happened.
I don't know. Why I liked it is because it was different enough for me, because a lot of these movies, superhero IP and stuff, has become the same old. And for me, it was just different. And I kind of like that. Like, because I like how it ended. At first, I didn't like how it ended, but
it couldn't end any other way.
It couldn't end any other way. And the fact that you would walk into this movie thinking, like me, or anybody, thinking these two are going to cause chaos is crazy. Because this movie's very grounded. And I think it showed the system he is not the Joker.
No.
But he is somebody who starts this movement.
Yes.
But it's bigger than him.
Yeah.
He is just a pathetic dude who's caught in the system.
Yeah.
And I was going back to the themes of the first one, comparing them to the themes of this one. So was this sequel needed? No. But I still enjoyed it.
I think the first movie was a perfect one-shot comic book.
Yes.
It was just that one time, one story.
Yes.
Done. Don't ever need to touch it again.
Right.
I think doing it again somewhat diminishes the first movie.
Sadly,
not like hugely, but it somewhat takes away from the first movie.
Okay, I agree with you.
And that's what knocked it down a lot of points for me, is that it's like you've taken a story that was perfectly done.
Yeah.
And now you've somewhat bastardized it by making this movie and diminishing the story points of that first movie.
I will say the first one still exists. You can still pretend.
Because you commercialized it too much in this movie.
Well, you can make...
By, like, saying that they made the TV movie about him and now they kind of glorify his character a little too much.
Point, though.
But they did it a little too much, I think, in this movie.
Because we do glorify murderers. We do look at Menendez brothers just had a Netflix TV show about it.
But I'm saying, but I think like doing that in this universe, it just doesn't resonate.
For me, it was like they're taking real life things that we do to serial killers, and that's what they did in the movie.
Yeah.
So,
but then they also like went a little bit overboard with it, like with the explosion and the bombing and that kind of stuff.
But that was interesting.
Yeah.
So,
and then like the way that Lady Gaga's character, like once he decided he wasn't going to be the Joker and that whole thing, it was kind of like, then why were we here?
Well, because she was in love with that.
No, character. I understand that, but it was just kind of like, what was the whole point of this story? Like, why do we need to have this? You could just not done anything,
right?
And we would have been fine.
Yes. No, I agree. It's an interesting. It
goes back to
movie.
The thing I say often, that these DC movies trick us. It's like they put out these good movies, and then they try to do a sequel to them, and the sequels are way worse than the originals.
Not always.
And then you're annoyed that you went and saw it. Which I seem to follow a thing with DC movies.
You're annoyed. I'm not.
An issue
annoyed.
I have with DC movies is that they sell you on this good story. And you're like, hey, we're gonna do another one. It's like, oh, cool, another one, neat. And then you go see the next one. It's like, well, why did you do that?
Well, I think
you had a perfectly good story the first time. You could have just kept going with that story.
I think it's a case by case basis. I don't think.
But
I don't
it seems
put
to be a common
across
occurrence
everything.
with DC.
Well, we are starting a new DCU
hopefully
this summer.
Hopefully
with Superman.
Yes,
and I think it will.
Which hopefully
is
good.
It should be good.
Well, let's give it. I'm not gonna.
James Gunn has a good record.
I know, but it's still a DC property, and I've been burnt enough times by DC at this point.
Hey, don't forget, there was a Superman 4.
Which unfortunately is also going to affect him somewhat. That people are going to be like, okay, it's like we're not going to like jump right into this.
All right. Well, anyway, that's our review of the Joker.
Yeah.
I liked it. You didn't. That's fine.
Yeah.
My wife didn't really care for it. I think a lot of people didn't.
Most of the world didn't care for it.
It's very divisive.
Yes.
I will see it again. Maybe my opinion will change. I don't know. Right now, I just like the themes of it.
Well, I feel like as
it's a movie. We all have different opinions.
Yeah. As the first one, like, made you feel awkward for liking the character.
Well, he did go after bad people that were bullies.
Yes.
So it gave you a reason to root for him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and in this one,
he's on trial. That's basic. It's a trial.
It's a trial movie, but I don't know. It's like you don't feel for him in this movie. You don't feel any, besides,
I do feel bad for him. You almost feel...
You feel bad for him in a different way. You feel bad for him, like you felt bad from the first movie.
The way the guards are treating him.
Yes, you felt like it was just like overdone. The stuff being piled on him.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we get it. He's a bad guy. He did bad things.
Yeah.
We don't need to keep, like, why is this being dragged out longer and longer?
Because it's from his perspective, you don't really get a lot of you don't get stuff from Lee's character, which I think the movie
character wasn't fleshed out enough.
Would have benefited to have a little bit more scenes with her.
Yes.
I think I think her should have had more. There should have been a little bit less of the singing.
Like the guard story really wasn't fleshed out, besides the fact that, like,
I got the guard stuff. That was fine.
No, but I'm saying, but like then there's that thing at the end where it's like, did the guard set him up to
he was set up. It was a setup. Because they couldn't hurt him when he was on trial, obviously, because of reasons.
Yes.
They took it out on his buddy.
Yeah.
And I think that's also another reason why it sets up Arthur going, my actions, finally, I see someone hurt or killed someone that I'm the only friend I have here.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that in the real world.
Yeah.
He didn't see the ramifications of anything because people were bullies to him. So this happens to him, and then I think when he's in court, he has no makeup on, and he's going to tell the juror, there is no Joker. I did this.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just like, this. I can't do this anymore. And that's when the explosion happens and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. Which is never explained, like, what that's about.
Oh, it was a car bomb. Because
but they don't, like,
they
really
were trying to,
explain, but
they were
like,
trying to get him out.
Yeah.
Because previously, he showed up as a Joker in court. And they thought he's back.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen.
Yeah. So it was just a weird. But anyway.
But it was a setup at the end because the guard says to him, "You got a visitor."
Yeah.
And as he's leaving, he
walks
just,
way ahead of him.
Way ahead of him, and he never comes back.
Yeah.
And then when the guy follows him in, it was a setup. They knew that the guards were already mad at him for what happened.
Yeah. But it was just a very, I don't know. I wasn't into it.
People looked up to the Joker, not Arthur.
Yes.
That's what it comes down
I just
to.
wasn't into it.
That's fine. I was into it.
Yeah.
So that was our review. And what's the next big movie?
I don't think there's anything coming up in the next little while. Like, nothing until November, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think we have
about
any.
What movies we have even coming up.
Well, 2025, we got Thunderbolts, and we also have not Winter Soldier, but we have Captain America 4? Or is it 3? Is it 4?
I know the last Venom movie's coming.
I've never seen Venom 2, so I'm probably going to skip it.
Gladiator 2.
I'm going to skip it.
Craven.
I'm going to skip it. Unless Craven comes out and the reviews are amazing.
And there's some movies you're going to see that I'll never see, like Terrifier 3.
I've never seen any. I do want to see them.
Nosferatu.
I do. Oh, Nosferatu looks really good.
Yeah.
Craven the Hunter's in December.
Yeah, I think that's about. I don't think there's anything really.
There's that Lord of the Rings movie.
The animated one.
The animated
Yeah.
one, but yeah, I don't really.
That would be
see
cool.
Mufasa.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Sonic 3.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu looks good. That trailer did look good. I am interested in Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, I don't think there's any other big like movies. Megalopolis.
That was another big bomb.
Oh, I watched Civil War. It just popped up on my thing here.
Oh yeah.
It's on.
I saw that in the theater.
Oh, the series?
Peacock?
Yeah.
No, the movie.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Really? I liked it.
I did not.
Yeah, I liked it. It was very depressing.
It was depressing, but it was just kind of like, yeah, that happened.
That was a movie I really enjoyed this year.
I mean, it was kind of like
it was scary because I was like, "Oh God, please don't let this happen."
No, I mean that part, but I mean it was kind of like I don't know.
But it's just about the photographers during a Civil War, what they're going through.
Yeah.
And just like the movie was very vague about sides, which was good.
Exactly. And the story really wasn't really fleshed out, really, besides them just wanting to go to D.C. to interview the president.
That's the simple story.
That's the whole story.
That's the whole story. But like, yeah, I thought it was well shot. Some of the scenes were pretty intense.
Yeah, it was. It was just kind of like I don't know. I just wasn't. I don't know.
Nothing really interesting until February. That's Captain America.
Captain America.
Brave New World.
Brave New World, yes.
Yeah. Should be good.
There was also that Mickey 17 movie with Robert Pattinson that looks really weird. He like gets cloned and used for experiments and stuff, but then like
the space movie.
It almost reminds me of Moon.
It does remind me of Moon. It reminded me very much of Moon.
No, I haven't seen that.
Another movie that's going to be coming out. I think it's next year though. Here, I saw the thing for that recently. The Tom Hanks, Robert Zemeckis movie. It's literally all shot in one frame of video, and it takes place all in that one frame. There's no other shots.
Is that the one with what's her face from
Tom Hanks and Robert
Gump?
Penn from Forrest Gump?
Robert Penn.
Yeah.
It's all like it literally takes it spans like the whole time in this one shot. Like there's scenes from like the Civil War and different things that happened in this one space, and it covers like a whole spread of time.
Interesting.
It's a Robert Zemeckis like thought piece kind of thing, but it looks really, really good. And Claire was like, "It's got Tom Hanks in it, so I'll see it." But that's about the only thing.
Yeah, it uses that same like the barf, what you would call the barf technology from Iron Man, where it de-ages him.
Yes.
That same type of thing. They de-age Tom Hanks and Robert Penn
to
like 20 years old or something like that. I think that's what they say.
I'll have to check out the
And
trailer.
then it goes to like their old age.
Nice. I'll
Yeah,
have to check
it comes out 2024, so coming out soon.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Yeah, but that's the only other one I know of that's coming out anytime soon.
Real quick, we watched Agatha All Along, episode 4.
It was really good.
It was great.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza's back.
Yes.
I mean, was kind of hoping a little bit more, fighting the demon with a musical act. I was kind of like, well,
that's the shtick of her character, Alice's character, is that her mom was a musician and everything. And
I know.
And that was a protection spell, so she had it made the song, so it was always being played. It was a very popular song.
Yeah.
So it was always being played by somebody. So this protection spell was always being used.
And then she died, right?
The mom died in a fire, yes.
Yeah.
But
it was still a good episode.
I mean, this series, and I've seen other people mention this online, it's just a D&D story. Like, you have your different characters, and you're on an adventure.
Yeah.
And each person has their challenge they have to solve to further the story along.
Right. So far.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Speaking of D&D,
it's like they had like the scene with them like around the campfire telling stories about how their injuries and things. It was it's very much a D&D story.
And then we almost got an inkling of who the teen is.
Almost, yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
He's not her son, it seems.
No, he's not. No.
But speaking of D&D,
yes.
That show's back. Critical
Vox Machina.
Vox Machina.
Yes, 3 episodes released on Thursday.
You know, I realized I never finished last season.
Oh man, last season was good. You got to catch up.
I guess.
You got to get to work.
I got to watch Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like weird. I only watch The Boys on Amazon, and
Yeah.
then I watch that.
Severance? No, Severance is Apple.
Apple. We're waiting for Severance to come back.
Yes, that's coming back then. Yeah.
January, February.
Yeah.
Oh, so excited.
Yeah. Add to the list of 2025 things.
Huh?
Add to the list of things in 2025.
So many things in 2025.
Fire hose will open up.
Oh, boy.
Hitting January, February. Buckle in.
Buckle in, buckos. It's going to be a crazy
It's going to be
ride.
a bumpy ride. Yeah, nice, quiet 2024, and it's not going to be next year. It's not going to be that.
No.
We're going to have a lot to cover next year.
Oh,
We've been
boy.
trying to figure out things to cover this year.
All
Next year won't be a problem.
Yeah.
But we'll be talking about that next year. We'll be back with more next week. We'll have something to talk about. Who knows what, but we'll figure it out.
Yes.
And we'll have so much more to talk about with you. Hope you all have a great week. And as always, be safe, be well, be kind.
Rewind.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rockers. Bye, Rockstar. Bye, Rocky.
Rockheads.
Bye, Bonds. Bye, Bobby. Bye, Howard. Bye-bye.
Rochelle.
Rochelle. Oh, that's a reference.